So I recently got this AC Infinity 2U cooling fan assembly, and it's this model here, which is Cloud Plate Series Rack Fan System model AI-CP2L, and it does work. It's just super dirty. Let's see here. There we go. And I thought it'd be fun to take it apart and clean it. So I'm going to start by unplugging it, because it doesn't need power while I take it apart. And we're going to need to remove some screws. So there's some screws along the top and bottom here that appear to be holding the faceplate on. I suspect the fans are mounted separately from the front, but I won't know for certain until it's completely apart. There's also the really bad possibility that they screwed the fans together from both ends. And the reason that would be a problem is because that means it's going to be a nightmare to reassemble this. But I want to see how the fans are wired, and I want to see if they can be, I'm going to go wide angle so I don't have to focus on what I'm looking at, but I also want to see if I can oil these fans. They probably don't need it, but I think I'm going to just give them a little drop of oil while I have it apart, since these have an unknown number of hours on them. It's enough to have them generate their own built-in dust filter. Because after all, dust is the best dust filter. It seems to congregate and stick together. And afraid of that. So I need to remove the screws, because the fans are holding the front and the back together from the way it feels. And since it's a lot of screws, I'm going to use my drill, because I don't have time to hand unscrew all these individually. I'm going to remove them from the front. Now, the annoying thing about this is it's going to be fun trying to align everything. But I'm thinking take the front ones off first, that way gravity's on my side. Luckily this just uses normal fan screws, so if you were to lose them, it's not that big of a deal. I do like it when companies use off-the-shelf parts. I'm uncertain what happens here, but I think I'm going to take the display with the front. And the cables are going to pull through with it, it looks like. Okay, interesting. So there's not a lot of slack. It's like you want to rotate the faceplate downwards almost. Now, from the looks of it, the fans are on their own custom connectors, unfortunately. So that means if you wanted to mod this to run some quieter fans or some better fans or just different fans, you're going to have to do some arts and crafts. Cut the wires and solder your new fan wires on. Based on the fact that it's just getting 2 wires to each fan. These aren't pulse width modulated. It's just, well, I mean, I guess it could be pulse width modulated controller, but it's not using the signal wire to control the fan speed. These are just really basic dumb fans. But I need to blow this out with an air compressor, try to get it cleaned up. But first, I think I'm going to pull these cables all the way through. I don't really see any advantage to removing the fans completely, because by removing the fans, the faceplate, and unscrewing those screws, I have access to the bearing in theory, assuming the bearing is accessible under there. Based on the indentations I'm seeing, it looks like there should be a rubber cap over it, or there might be nothing. I don't feel anything. These might be really crappy fans. Huh. Also, based on the orientation of the fans, I would assume this is blowing out the front of the assembly, so it wouldn't be too big of a deal trying to flip these, although you might run into cable length issues. But I'm going to blow the dust out of this next. Alright, so I've got it all nice and clean now, and I've washed my hands so I don't get dust all over the stickers. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little oil on the bearings. And this is the stuff I end up using. Don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just what I've always used and it seems to work, so it is what it is. And I'm going to just pry up this sticker here. And we're going to take a look at what I'm working with. You want to try not to touch too much of the sticker because you don't want to contaminate it, but it's stuck on good. Because you want it to stick down as good as possible once you fix it. And this one has no protection on the bearing, so you're going to be careful with how much you put in there. Whether or not this is the best option for this fan, I don't know. Just kind of use your own discretion, I guess. Give it a little oil, give it a little spin. These didn't really have any issues with spinning in general, but figured while I'm in here, give them a touch of oil. Would be nice if these had a rubber cap in the back, but it's whatever. I'm just going to give it each one a tiny little drop of oil. Don't need a lot. Then the fun part will be putting it back together. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're oiling fans like this, if you choose to do this, don't get oil anywhere that isn't the bearing. Oops, shouldn't have touched sticker like that. Because if you get it anywhere else that's not the bearing, it's gonna make the sticker not stick back together. Did I get some on there? I did. If you did what I just did, you screw up and get a little oil on the bearing, outside of the bearing. You just wipe it up with some rubbing alcohol and just make sure you let it dry really good before you stick it back down. Oops. Obviously, after you put the sticker back on, oil is going to get on the sticker part of it, where that hole is in this case, since there's no rubber stopper in the back. But it is what it is. Oiling fans like this isn't really a permanent fix either. It's just kind of a longevity thing, I guess you could say. I've done it to a lot of fans over the years that are old and wore out just to make them last a little longer and get a little more life out of them, especially if they're fans that aren't easy to replace. There we go. And just kind of use your fingernail to flatten the sticker down. It's not going to be perfect, but at least in theory you've extended the life of the fan, especially with how dusty these were. Then probably could use it. So I need to run the wires through the holes that I just pulled through, put them back into place so I can work towards getting everything reconfigured. A lot of cable to work with here, unfortunately. Oops, got that the wrong way around. Kidding me. Alright, I got that one the wrong way around too. So, oh, that's why I have it the wrong way around. I got this the wrong way around. I spun it around during the cleaning process. It's like I felt like it should have a little bit more give than that, but I trusted the system a little too much. There we go. So obviously the fan grills are missing. Can't put it back together without them. But I wanted to at least make sure the cable's lined up. So I can sneak these back in. The fun part's going to be aligning them. It looks like the front opening might help with that though. Yeah. There's a limit to how much range of motion they have. I'm going to use a hand screwdriver to get these started, and then I think I'm going to tighten them down with the drill because it's a lot of screws. Actually, these threads are already cut nice and neat, so maybe I won't tighten them down with the drill. I don't know. We'll see. The fun part about using the drill is over tightening. Last thing you want to do. Another thing, when you're screwing fan screws in like this, that are the type of screws where they bite into the plastic, if it feels like it's fighting back, just loosen the screw, run it counterclockwise a couple times so you hear it click, and that should line the threads up with their original holes. You don't want to cut new holes because if you do, you run the risk of stripping them out, or they're just not going to grip as good. That was just tight. May not be a bad idea either to have the screws go in the exact same holes they came out of, but that's probably a little bit overkill. I mean, the screws should be pretty much the same. Before I properly torque these down, what I'm going to do, oops, this one's not lined up correctly, is I'm going to get the small top and bottom screws in place. I'm honestly kind of surprised they bothered with those considering how many screws are holding it together. But I assume it's more of a like perfectionist approach where you get everything lined up really nice so that way you get good consistency and you have a nice product. Because otherwise these 6 screws that go on the top and bottom feel like they're kind of unnecessary. They're definitely not contributing much to the structure of the assembly. Realized I didn't clean the power supply off. It has my dirty handprints all over it. Oh no. Alrighty. So I think now we're going to use the drill just to give these a little tighten up. This drill has enough power, even though small as it is, to rip those threads right through the plastic if I wanted to. Obviously I don't want to do that. There we go. Those are all tightened down. I'm just going to clean the power supply off real quick. Ew, dirty. Yeah, that's some interesting brown dust. Ugh. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I don't know what kind of dust it is, but not the kind I'd want to breathe in, probably. Looks like I missed the leading edge of the fan blades when I was cleaning it. Dang it. I can probably get that later. At least it's not as bad as it was before. The thing was dirtier than Pigpen. Which my younger viewers aren't going to know who Pigpen is even. Oh. Alrighty. So, didn't really change much, but yeah, nice and clean. Plenty of airflow blowing through. It's max speed. Got nice and slow. And let's see if my hands are hot enough to trigger it to go on. I can also lower the temperature. Oh, yeah, nope. I guess 65 is as low as it goes. 105 is a little hot. We'll get there. Nice. But hopefully that's interesting, and thanks for watching.